Nelson Mandela Bay is such a well-positioned city along the coast with enough closeness to the inland, inland cities or regions with wildlife and nature. And I feel that if we could leverage our maritime position as a maritime city, which has a unique connection to inland wildlife resources, we could be a very popular coastal destination that thrives.
I'd like to think that a city like ours, a metro region, is an opportunity city, a place where people are safe. I think people can live out their potential, and that empowers and enables young people to live their dreams, pursue their opportunities. I think a strong economy is critical to those sort of opportunities. But really, beyond the economy and the bricks and mortar of a city that we're talking about, I like the idea of people feeling served by a city that actually makes that possible. So it's how we feel about the city, how we feel about the brand of Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, and for me that is important.
We envision a city ran by the ANC, stated and governed and accountable to the people, and how we want to achieve that is through the same process that we have of constantly engaging with our people on their needs, and we want them to lead their communities.
I envision a city that works for the people, a city in which the municipality is very efficient and has got the necessary skills to run an effective administration, but also a city where we don't leave things to politicians, but we create collaborative relationships between the private sector, including business and NGOs, and the state in order to make sure that things work. I do see a city in which young people are affirmed and communities are affirmed enough to be able to take the kinds of actions that change their communities, leveraging their skills and businesses that they are involved in. I don't think it's right for us to advance the idea that we can get full employment at some stage. So encouraging people to run their own businesses, growing them from the informal sector and expanding within the informal sector until they feel comfortable to formalize those businesses. I think that's something we need. We need more of. Otherwise, full employment is not going to come. Also, the kind of city that I imagine is one where self-sufficiency is a vision that is being strived to be achieved, and more businesses that support existing businesses are founded, and new businesses that are founded are supported by a local industry that exists to support those businesses.
I think people with integrity, people with a sense of values, of service, is very important in the public service. I think that there's a huge gap between the public trust among politicians and civil society, and leaders with that skill of identifying what communities are looking at and how they partner. So a big part of this sort of leadership role is forming and building collaborations with all stakeholders and finding different ways of taking solutions that serve our people better than the sort of stuck situation that we are in.
We need leaders who have a daring attitude in terms of what can be done. Leaders who have an attitude that a road to the moon can be built. We need it for our communities, but also leaders who've got the competence to be able, one, to achieve things on their own, but also enough humility and sense to be able to recognize their own limitations and therefore be able to create opportunities for others to fulfill what they want to achieve. Only when we lead societies in which people are courageous and bold enough about what they know, but humble enough about what they don't, that they recognize the need for mutual collaboration with others, can we deliver the kind of society that we need. So leaders who are bold, leaders who know what they know, but also leaders who are secured enough about who they are, that they can create space for others to thrive.
So a vision, it goes from the ground up, and I believe that if a vision is not grounded in citizens forming a big part of forming that vision, it's not likely to succeed. So if a vision is from the ground up, leadership will be from the ground up. That means the type of leadership we need is a type of leadership that is connected to its citizens. So a leadership that listens, a leadership that has that is visionary, that is creative, that is problem-solving orientated, but also a leadership that is willing to challenge itself and challenge its citizens to be better. Otherwise, we will always be mediocre.
It's a well-constituted leadership which the ANC has undertaken in the past few weeks through its candidate selection process, where people were being interviewed, and also people were being checked on their skills and their capacities, but also young people coming into the fore. As I said earlier, we have got 17 young candidates across the 16 wards in the Nelson Mandela Bay, but also majority of our black candidates are women, which brings a balance between youth, gender, as well as experience in the various fields that some of them are experiencing.
So I lecture at a university, and I've become bolder and intentional about getting my students to get into politics. Previously, politics departments, out of fear of government retribution or backlash, needed to say, we're not training people who are going to go into politics, but more academics. Now I'm even bolder about encouraging my students to get into politics. If what we have in South Africa in politicians is anything to go by, then our future is doomed. So we must take the necessary steps to prepare the kind of leaders that we desire. The second thing that I do beyond lecturing at a university has been to help people who want to start their ventures with concept development. So I help people to think about their concepts and help them improve the concepts, and then encourage them to go out there and try and support them while they try. Now, I do that now on an organizational platform, where an organization that I was a part in creating helps communities in the Chikukwa area and the Nelson Mandela Bay to do exactly this. What I'm excited about in terms of that are two projects that my organization is responsible for, where we are founding ICT businesses, people that are all going to operate free community Wi-Fi, and then we also have a chemicals incubator where we partnered with a state-owned company to bring in the skills, we bring in the management to make sure that we've got chemical businesses that people start and they supply their own community. So that's my way of contributing to creating these kinds of leaders and businesses that are conscious that I would like to see in South Africa.
Well, one is currently a peer councillor in the municipality, and one has been raising sharply the different communities that one sits in, the involvement of young people, but also to constantly engage with the different sectors in the arts, in the sports, in business, to say we all have using the municipality to unleash some of the bottlenecks that the different sectors are finding a difficulty in working.
So as an institution, we contribute to conversations such as this one because we believe these conversations are critical in us getting to understand the climate, the temperature in the city, and getting some views and ideas. And we believe that is our role to facilitate those conversations so that we can extract what is needed to build a city going forward.
Well, for the last 20 years of my life, I've been doing things from business to civil society, to socio-economic projects, and in all of this, I've learned that we need to build capacity of young people and institutions. We need to make sure that people rising through leadership have the competence and the skills to actually deal with complex and complicated situations. And that is one of the things that's missing in our public politics. Leadership that can lead on fundamentals through the values-based approach, find alternative solutions, not easy victories, not succumbing to political pressure, but of standing on values and making sure that solutions have a better long-term and sustainable outcome. There are a number of things. Our economy, our environment, and our civic life has to be in balance, and that takes some skill. And my particular interest in that is the advancement of women and youth, and making sure that institutions, civic as well as government, have a better equal power play so that they can serve society better, and society brings the best out of itself so that we have better leadership for the future to handle these uncertain times.